Thursday, April 10, 2025. Today on Young and Restless, Phyllis is eager to get this over with. Jack and Ashley assure Tracy she's not to blame, and Alan is brought down to the station. Wednesday's recap. After Ashley insisted Alan is Martin and Chance tried to bring him in, Tracy confronted Alan about his identity. This Day Ahead recap episode airs in the USA on April 10. Expect spoilers. Recaps go live by 4:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time daily. In the GCAC dining room, Tracy's family and Chance gather around as she confronts Alan, demanding to know who he is. Alan insists he's the man who loves her. When she repeats the question, he says she makes no sense. He's baffled, so Ashley tells him to cut the crap. Tracy pleads. Alan stays silent. Ashley and Jack demand an explanation. Alan asks Tracy how she can do this to them after all the happiness they shared. Alan keeps saying all he's done is love Tracy. It was Martin who assaulted Ashley. He can understand she was traumatized, but he's not him. Getting in his face, Ashley says she knows who he is and what he did to her. "You are nothing but human garbage," she says. Chance tells Laurent he needs to come with him to answer questions about a kidnapping. Tracy demands to know why he tormented Sharon and Phyllis. Laurent remains baffled and declares this is all insanity. Jack declares the truth is about to come out and he better get ready for the consequences. Chance has to hold Jack back. Ashley steps up to threaten Alan. He continues to act bewildered, reminding them of all the time they have spent together. How could they misjudge him so badly? Tracy says she's horrified by how naive she's been. Alan hates being made out to be a monster, but he's determined to prove he's innocent. Tracy says wanting to clear himself is just proof he doesn't care. She accuses him of running an experiment on her to break her heart. "It's mine that's broken," he says. Chance leads him out. Sits with her siblings and wonders how she could never see what was in front of her. Ashley tells her not to berate herself and insists that Martin is to blame for everything. Jack says he fooled all of Ashley tells her sister she didn't know both brothers so couldn't compare them. Tracy thanks them for trying to make her feel better, but she's the one who brought Martin into their home and put them in danger. Jack repeats that she's not to blame. She feels stupid. Her siblings could see how loving Adam acted. Tracy says that every day was a perfect day. It was all too much, too fast. She must have been too dazzled to see the truth. If he is responsible for the abduction, she's to blame for that too. Tracy thinks she was the cover for a predator. Ashley says none of them knew where this would lead. Jack urges her to drop by the clinic and see her daughter since this must be very triggering. Tracy wanted herself to be wrong about Alan so badly. They can't let him get away with this. Jack says that once he's behind bars, they can't get beyond this. When she's left alone for a moment, Tracy flashes back to Alan's proposal. She takes off the ring and realizes something. Nick and Sharon join Phyllis at Crimson Lights so they can talk about what Chance has learned. Their abductor had equipment in the farmhouse. They also found their phones. Phyllis just wants to nail the Laurent twins to the wall. Nick explains the cops still have no hard proof, but are moving in the right direction. Phyllis is eager for this to end. She's not holding up well. Neither is Sharon. They are just lucky to have people who care about them. The redhead needs to look the person who did this to her in the eye and tell them they didn't break her. Sharon says they have to have faith that they are close to the end of this. Their nightmare may be ending, but Tracy's may just be starting. After Sharon gets Phyllis some coffee, they joke about reading each other's minds. Nick admits he's still getting used to them being nice to each other. It's cool. They still can't understand why they were targeted. Sharon is sure it was all an experiment. Chance brings Alan to the station for questioning. Laurent is sure there is no evidence or he would already be charged. The cop says they are processing fingerprints right now. Alan insists he's Alan. He knows Chance cares about the Abbotts. Since he was married to Abby, he's sure the cop is aware of their mental health issues. Jack is an addict and Ashley has did. Tracy has let her deluded siblings manipulate her. Laurent thinks they all need psychological help. He insists he has nothing to hide. The cop leaves him to paste for some time until he brings in Phyllis and Sharon. Alan is confused. Phyllis says he's crap and asks if she can hit him. Alan tells Sharon that Ashley is just transferring her trauma onto Tracy. Sharon thinks he's a delusional narcissist. He understands they are looking for someone to punish, but it's not him. He reminds her that she put her minds in his hands. Sharon and Phyllis start reciting. Laurent repeats he had nothing to do with that, and this is all a mistake. Phyllis pushes a water bottle at him and prompts him to drink, unless he's afraid. When Laurent says he's going to leave, they keep going, accusing him of running an experiment on them and pushing him to admit he's Martin. He says that Martin is dead, and it's sadistic of them to keep throwing this in his face. Phyllis demands to know why he picked them. She says they didn't unravel, they won and beat him. When she says he will pay, he loses it, leaping up and slapping the table, yelling, "Enough!" He's tired of these accusations and says none of them have a clue about what's happened. He says they are all misunderstanding what a genius Martin was. His own attempts to cure himself were extraordinary. At first, he refused to believe in his genius, but he proved it by facilitating Ashley's breakthrough in Paris. Martin succeeded where he failed. Sharon asks if that's what he was trying to do with her and Phyllis. He asks if they reached a new awareness. Phyllis says the experiment failed and they hate each other more now. He doesn't buy Sharon and Phyllis continue claiming they hate each other more. He's not impressed. Sharon starts railing about how insufferable and egotistical Phyllis is. The redhead complains that Sharon just played damsel in distress and pined after Nick. They argue about Nick. Alan says this is all too heavy-handed if they are after a confession. The cop says they don't need one because they have loads of evidence. Alan is sure he's bluffing. Phyllis starts yelling loser at him and Sharon says Alan would be embarrassed by him. Cracking, he says that Alan was nothing and he's the one who fixed Ashley and heightened their humanity. Phyllis tells him he's trapped now, and he says they have no idea what he did for them. The women exit and Chance reads him his rights. Phyllis and Sharon join the Abbotts at the GCHC and tell them that they managed to out Martin and now he's been arrested.